Talking Shirts is presented in partnership with White Oak Cottage. For more information, visit whiteoakcottage.co.uk.
Hello, welcome to episode number 119 of Talking Shirts. I'm Mike from Hull Car Shirts, and today we're going to take a look at the 2020 away shirt. Now, this one here was worn by Weller Hauraki during the 2020 season. And Weller was one of our co-captains ahead of that season, along with Mossy Massoy. Now, we all know what happened to Mossy, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in episode number 120 of Talking Shirts, because these next two episodes, back to back, are going to be dedicated to our co-captains of the 2020 season. Let's talk a little bit about this one now. So, yeah, the 2020 away shirt. Minus this massive, and I mean massive, sponsor that features in the middle of the shirt, I think this is an impeccably well designed kit. The navy with the marl effect, kind of offering that little bit of two-tone in there, looks absolutely fantastic. The broad red band going through the middle, wonderful. It plays tribute to the 2003 away kit. Pop a picture up so you can have a look at that one. Absolutely brilliant. The way that the red of the collar, the red of the band, the red of the cuffs mixes in with the navy, and the white sponsors, maker marker and club crest is absolutely fantastic and something that I am all about. We've got AC Enviro, Oxen, Hull College Group, Jelf, and the Hull Kingston Rovers club crest. All of those have been dye sublimated into the shirt in white that really boom. Jelf did actually rebrand shortly after the manufacturing of this shirt, which meant that their company did change to the Marsh Group, I think it was. Sadly, that didn't obviously appear on the shirts because they'd already gone into manufacturing. But yeah, maybe a little bit of an own goal from their perspective with that one. We've got the gel grip patches in the shape of an X on the front. There is a little bit of wear and a little bit of damage going on to that, which tells me that this shirt has been worn in match action at some point, albeit I've not been able to nail down a game just yet, but hopefully that will change soon. As we look to this sleeve here, we've got the RSV branding dye sublimated in, and then we've got the Bad Rhino heat applied patch that featured across Super League in its entirety during that 2020 season. The design elements of the front also show on the sides here, where we've got the two-tone navy with a marl effect. You can just kind of see those sort of like slices of royal blue in the navy, which kind of just breaks it up to deliver the effect that it does. And then we've got these side panels that go all the way down the sides with those stitching, external stitching marks on there as well, just to kind of split up the material between this middle and the front and the side panel. The front and the back panel that have the ribbed effect, whereas this is the more smooth material heading down the side panel there. As we have a look to this sleeve here, this is where we always find our competition patch. So we've got the Easy Buy branding, again, that has been dye sublimated into the shirt. And then we've got the Betfred Super League competition patch. This has clearly had at least two patches. There's a bit of crinkling going on. In fact, there might even be a little bit of a bubble in the middle there, where it's not quite sort of taken to the patch that's underneath it. There's a little bit of cracking going on. You can see at the top where something has been peeled off as well. Like I say, on the inside you can see where the spray's been sprayed. Look at that. Turn this inside out. I will pop some pictures up so you can get a better view of it. But yeah, you can kind of see here where this comes from when they use the spray to loosen the adhesive to be able to remove competition patches. So yeah, you can see that quite vividly on the inside, whereas on the outside, thankfully, that's not something that is too visible. So that's been part one of episode number 119 of Talking Shirts. Here is a quick word from our sponsor before we look at the reverse.
White Oak Cottage is a 2-bedroom luxury holiday cottage set in the stunning Lincolnshire Wolds. It has 2 ensuite bedrooms, a hot tub, wood burner, Wi-Fi, electric vehicle charger, and is pet friendly. It is ideally situated in the Wolds, yet only 15 miles from the coast and 25 miles from the historic city of Lincoln. For more information, visit whiteoakcottage.co.uk.
Welcome back to episode number 119 of Talking Shirts. Before the break, we was taking a look around this 2020 away shirt, and now we are back with the reverse. So, as you can see here, everything on the back of the shirt appears in white. So we have got the navy design elements that feature on the front on this ribbed material with the marl effect throughout the reverse of this shirt. We've got NEC, again, dye sublimated in white. The Archbishop Centimo Academy, dye sublimated in white. And then the higher base. I'm not going to say it again, you get the drift. So yeah, all of those have been dye sublimated into the shirt. We have got the surname Hauraki and squad number 11 featuring on the back of here. Not quite central. This one is almost touching the H, whereas this kind of features, this one here meets with a couple of letters to spare. So yeah, the number's not quite central on the back of the shirt, but the name has been applied using a name block. So that equal spacing between each letter makes that look absolutely fine there. Weller joined us ahead of the 2019 season. He had 2 seasons at the club, 2019 and 2020. During that time, he made 43 appearances, scoring 6 tries. Weller came to us as a seasoned veteran in the Super League. He had played over 200 games, I believe it was, when he joined the club for clubs like Leeds, Crusaders, Castleford, Salford and Widnes. He'd kind of done the rounds. He was a bit of a journeyman, but he'd racked up the appearances along his way. He had a really strong season with us in 2019. From memory, there was a little bit of a what have we signed him for ahead of that 2019 season, but he quickly shut up the fans, or some of the fans, should I say, with his performances on the field, because during that 2019 season, I thought he was one of our sort of standout performers, and will have ranked quite highly in the Player of the Year awards for that 2019 season. Ahead of the 2020 season, he was asked if he would like to be a co-captain for the 2020 season. That alongside Mossy Massoy, both of them accepted before the friendly against Wakefield, which saw the end of Mossy's career and also saw Weller get injured. He picked up an ankle injury in that fixture as well, which left us without a captain on the field in the early parts of that 2020 season. And obviously, we know what happened after that in terms of the COVID outbreak and lockdowns and the suspension of the league. So yeah, it was quite a tumultuous year on and off the field for Hull KR, the sport in general, the country, but most notably for Mossy Massoy as well. He was scheduled to be a co-captain, as I've already mentioned, for the 2020 season. And even though he was still able to complete a lot of his sort of responsibilities as being a captain and being around the playing group, and he wasn't able to get back onto the field for reasons that we are all fully aware of. As I said at the start, this is episode 119. We've dedicated this one to Weller Hauraki and his 2020 away shirt. For episode number 120, we are actually going to have a look at the 2020 home shirt that Mossy Massoy would have worn in the Super League had he have been able to sort of make a return or that injury not happen. So yeah, it's going to be probably quite an interesting episode, but a sad one all the same as well, because obviously of things that we now know. So yeah, that's everything for episode number 119. Hope you've enjoyed watching this episode of Talking Shirts today, taking a tour around Weller Hauraki's 2020 away shirt, one that I say I absolutely adore. If Jelf was just you look at your fonts on a computer, if that's like 72, if it was like 56 or something like that, I think it'd probably be a lot more appealing. It's just so oof and in your face. It's not the end of the world. It blends in well in terms of colour, but just size, it's just a little bit too big for the band for me. I get it. It is what it is. Thank you very much for watching. Check back in another couple of weeks, and as I've said, I'll be back with Mossy Massoy's 2020 home shirt that would have been. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.